Hi everyone, this is Dr. Teresa Dale, and we are live, Natural Health Radio. I'm your host, Dr. Teresa Dale, again, and we are also simultaneously casting from on Facebook Live for you today. Come and join us because we have a great show in store for you. I will be helping you to look at different things that are in the news related to glyphosates, related to radiation toxicity, related to so many things. I have so much to share with you. I can't wait. Come on in. And, one of the things I wanted to share with you, I was just talking to Daryl about it, is that, there are many good supplement companies in the United States and in Europe. And, so there are many good ones and many clean ones besides mine. I don't know how many, maybe, 10. That's many, right? Okay, so, but they're the ones that sell products that are from animals. So you're buying glandulars from animals. I want to tell you about this today. So very important because health providers and consumers and people who are using animal-based products, there's some things you need to know. And these kinds of things are not going to be told to you by your doctor if they're using them, because if they're using them, they're pretty darn convinced they're good because they have not researched. They haven't done the research. And so that's what I do, is I do the research. I do it for you. And we're going to talk about taking glandulars today, which are from animal source. Okay. So many, many years ago, there were companies that started using glandulars. This was maybe in the 30s or 40s, and they didn't yet inject them with antibiotics and hormones at that time, okay? But they did, their extraction method of the gland from the animal was using formaldehyde to get it out. Since that time, I think they've changed to more of a steam or hot water process to extract the gland. However, they're not, if it doesn't say organic on the bottle, don't use it, because you've got the animals fed GMO, and today they're all shot up with antibiotics and hormones. And then you've got the glyphosate from the Roundup. It's on vegetables and things that they're fed. And you've got radiation from, if they're grass-fed, you've got radiation. So we're talking about supplements that are glandulars. I don't recommend them, even if they're organic. If they're from New Zealand, okay, and if it says from New Zealand, the possibilities are better. But some people say that they're New Zealand and they're not from New Zealand. So you should get like the address of the farm from New Zealand. New Zealand animals are mostly raised organically, and they may not call it organic because most of everything is grown that way organically, right? So we have to be very careful when we're using glandulars, not only because of the toxicity, but there's a couple of other reasons that are very important. One is you're taking a glandular to help your gland work better, but it's not going to do that. What it's going to do is replace how your gland functions. So it's going to do what your gland does. And what happens then is your glands get the whatever glandular you're taking, like if you're taking a glandular for thyroid, then your thyroid starts shutting down the ability to make hormones because you're taking what it needs. You're doing replacement, okay? It's not going to rejuvenate the gland. The only thing that can do that are nutraceuticals, vitamins, and homeopathic and minerals. But glandulars are going to replace what the glands are supposed to be doing. You don't want to do that. That is not the best way to have a healthy experience and a positive experience. And that's why so many people, when they're taking glandulars, and I ask them, how long are you taking it? They'll say, 10 years. I've been taking it my whole life. Why? Well, when I stop it, I go back to not feeling good. See, that's the sign. You know, Daryl, that's the sign. When something is better, by George, it should be better.
No question about it. I mean, people gauge so many things by how they feel immediately and at the time. You know, people say, oh, I took it and I didn't feel better immediately, so I abandoned it. But things take time sometimes.
Sometimes things take time, but in glandulars, they are unhealthy in general. Now, a lot of people will say, well, there are glandulars in homeopathic medicine, you know. Well, that's true, but it's a completely different sourcing, and it's energy medicine. So it's not the actual gland, it's the energy from the gland. And it's diluted and it's potentized. And so when you take it, all you're getting is the positive things that gland would do. You're not getting any matter or material in there of a glandular. So it's the best of both worlds. It works at correcting glandular and organ issues, and that's what homeopathy is great for. But I do not recommend glandulars because of all of the reasons that I stated. And if you missed that part, if you're just coming in now, as I can see people are coming in, you can listen to this again, and you can get that beginning part. Okay? So when we're dealing with a liver issue, a lot of health providers feel that they want to take a give a liver glandular to the patient. Okay, I disagree with that because it's really not going to do what they think it's going to do. What you want to do is detoxify the liver, clean it out with organic herbs, non-GMO herbs, gluten-free herbs, herbs and veggie caps, okay? No magnesium stearate. You want to detoxify the liver so that it functions normally again. You know, and by taking a glandular, you're never going to do that. It's never going to achieve that because of the toxicity in the glandular. Even if it's organic, the organic feed that is given to the animal will have glyphosate on it unless that feed is also 100% organic. But, you know, I mean, so you have options today, but one of the best options to repair the glands, the organs, is to use homeopathic medicine and detoxification. And you know, in your brain, you've got your hypothalamus, you have your pituitary and pineal. Those need to be detoxified as well. And you do that effectively with homeopathic medicine and organic herbals. So we want to just keep you away from using animal products for healing because you can do 100% better job using nutraceuticals, homeopathy, and minerals and organic herbs. Okay? Glandulars pose too much of a risk today for people who are suffering with chronic toxicity, inflammation, or lowered immune system. The last thing in the world you need to do is to be taking a glandular from animals. That would be contraindicated. So, you know, and so many people that I know are just eating organically today, right? They're eating even organic meat, and that's fine, okay? But then they'll go ahead and take glandulars that are not organic, and they don't relate it to this being harmful to them. So I'm just sharing this with you so that you know, and that can make a difference. One of the things to heal organs is if you're looking at kidneys, you've got, of course, two of them, one on each side You've got a right kidney, a left kidney, you have one liver, and those are your filtering organs as well as your colon, and also your blood is a filtering organ to some degree, and we want to clean the blood. We want to detoxify the blood, okay? So we do that with organic, non-GMO, gluten-free herbs and veggie caps with no flow agents. And you have to be that careful about things in order to make sure you don't introduce toxicity into your body, which will just make your condition worse, not better. Or it will make the progress very slow. You'll be doing it for a long time rather than doing it for a month or doing it for 2 months, maybe 3 months, because that's all it will take. Now, some people, I was talking to a provider yesterday about Candida, and they had a patient with Candida, and they had it for 5 years, and they were on a Candida diet for 5 years. And I said, I would never take a diet for 5 years to fix something. I would think that there's something wrong if it's not fixed in a month or two. And you have to have a reason why that person has Candida. Why do they have Candida? So let's look at that first. Let's look at Candida is such a common thing, Daryl. So many people have Candida today.
I really don't know what it is or what the indications are.
It's overgrown yeast.
Sounds nasty.
Overgrown yeast. We have good bacteria in our body and we have bad bacteria. When the bad bacteria becomes more prevalent than the good bacteria, then we have Candida, we have an overgrowth, and that is called Candida. Now, there are 157 types of Candida, okay? But the 4 most prevalent types are in modern world are still happening. One is you can get it from other people. You can get it from hospitals. You can get it from your diet, eating too much sugar, bad foods. Definitely alcohol will put you in that Candida state, because fermented food should be avoided on a Candida diet, okay? But what causes it, back to what causes it, is antibiotics. Too much alcohol all the time, because antibiotics kill off all of the good bacteria. So the bad bacteria just goes hog wild, has control over your body. You can have skin issues. You can have your gut distended. You can have so many different health issues, including emotional issues and depression and skin problems, and can affect eyes, everything. Now, one of the things in order to get rid of it, and that will exacerbate it, is the mercury fillings in your mouth. Mercury fillings in your mouth exacerbate Candida. Why? Because it grows. Candida grows and lives on mercury fillings. They're so toxic and burden your immune system so much that the bad bacteria becomes more prevalent and the good bacteria dies off. So what we have to do to fix Candida is multiple things, but not too hard at all. We have to follow a diet. We have to find another way with instead of antibiotics to use natural antibiotics. So you can do that. I have a simple solution for you. I make an ionic silver. So it's ionic silver, nano-ionic silver, kills all viruses, all bacteria. You can spray it on the skin on MRSA, and you'll see a huge difference in a matter of an hour of spraying it on MRSA. Okay, you can use it for bacteria and viruses and Candida, and instead of an antibiotic. So you can talk to your doctor about possibly stopping the antibiotic and getting on ionic silver, and also cleansing the body with the slow cleanse or the whole body deep cleanse. So, and you can find those on my website at wellnesscenter.net. But Candida, you have to do a Candida diet, which is eliminating all fermented foods, all fermented foods. So that's like mustard, ketchup, vinegar, mushrooms, sugars, alcohol, too much fruit, because fruit turns into sugar in your body. And so the Candida diet is very, very limiting. But and you don't need to do it for very long. I would say 3 months tops. Some people a month. But if you have mercury fillings in your mouth, it will take longer. So I would suggest going to a biological dentist and having the mercury fillings replaced with porcelain fillings. Possibly ceramic might be okay, depending upon if the ceramic itself. There's different brands, and some brands may contain heavy metals, and the same with porcelain. So we have to look at a toxic-free material. Do not use plastic in your teeth because it contains bisphenol A, and you don't want to put any metal in your mouth at all, okay? Because metals can cause candida. Heavy metal toxicity can cause candida. And candida is a widespread issue. Some people go into the hospital and maybe the one thing they don't have is candida, but they will, because of all the meds they're on, because of the antibiotics they're on, because of the drugs, and they're not given a probiotic in a hospital. This is like an insane thing, to go into a hospital and to have sick people not given a probiotic. I mean, come on. Even in Europe, they'll give you, in a clinic in Europe, they'll give you quark. Quark is like a yogurty type thing. It's full of good bacteria, and they give you that. It's dairy, but they still give you the quark because it helps with the good bacteria to build it up, and then candida is down and can go away. So candida diet is very important, but probiotics are very important too, and they do make non-dairy probiotics. BioK Plus is a brand that has a non-dairy probiotic. I like it. It's my favorite one. And, the Candida diet can be found anywhere on the internet. Just Google Candida diet. So we talked about the different things that can cause Candida. And what we do to fix it is to take the Candida Ease. It's one bottle, Candida Ease. It's made of it's homeopathic nosodes made from the 4 most prevalent types of pathogens, of candida pathogens. So those 4 that are not only in the United States, all over the world, some are in the tropics. There's a Candida tropicalis that's more from the tropics, but these things also can exist in hospitals. So you can get it from a hospital. You can get
where the sick people are.
This is where the sick people are that don't take probiotics. I mean, to help somebody with their health, and especially if they're in the hospital, they're going to be exposed to more negative things and more things that are harmful to the body. The most important thing is good food, which they don't get, and probiotics, which they don't get. So if there's a change that needs to happen, forget political, forget immigration. Handle the hospitals, handle the way that people are treated in the hospital, because the amount of deaths that are caused each year by medical mistakes is known at over 700,000 people die each year. This is from the American Association of Iatrogenesis, and they count it. They're a nonprofit. So people die from that many medical mistakes a year, and it's because simple things could be done that are not done because it's not in their textbooks. So if you want to write a strong letter, write it to hospitals. And maybe that will help to initiate a new procedural pattern that is carried forth from one hospital to another, i.e. organic food, give people organic food and give them probiotics because of all of the drugs that they're dealt with. There's no way the body can handle that and 100% of these people are going to have candida, which has multiple symptoms: swelling, weight gain, mood swings, depression, looks like psoriasis, but it's candida, all kinds of issues with bowels, with intestines, with distended stomachs. So we need to look at bloating. When we feel bloated, it's a possibility there's candida. So how do you know if you have it, right? You can go to wellnesscenter.net, and there is a free self-test that you can take. Up at the top of the green bar, at the top, it says free self-test or self-test. There's a question and answer area where you could see if any of those symptoms belong to you, and you fill out that little form and submit it, and then you get an automated answer that tells you what those symptoms are related to. So if you have 3 or 4 or 3 of them or 4 of them, then there's a good chance you have candida. The more symptoms you check off, the more positive it is for candida. And you want to check that out. Go to wellnesscenter.net. At the top in the green index bar, free self-tests. One of the things that this week has come to my attention, every week it's something different, but glyphosate or glyphosate, that has been something that I've spoken about many times. However, now Bayer Aspirin, or Bayer, the company Bayer, has claimed that glyphosate is healthy. It's nothing wrong with it, even though Monsanto has lost the lawsuits showing that it causes cancer because it's documented, and they have hundreds of lawsuits. So naturally, Bayer has to come in and try to say, there's nothing wrong with it. Well, I want to see the owner's kid work with it. I want to see that, because they don't understand that this is such a detrimental thing for human beings, that they are responsible for so many deaths and cancer situations and people having cancer and other health issues, that they really should be put out of business. And I think you all need to write a letter. I certainly have, to Monsanto and Bayer, and we need to get something going so that company goes out of business, because they've got millions of dollars of lawsuits now from people who are suing them because they have cancer. So I feel that as a grassroots initiative, we can write letters to Monsanto and to Bayer, the owner of Monsanto, and ask them to get rid of Roundup or close their company. Get rid of it or close the company, period. That's what needs to happen. So because we just, doing nothing, having no reactivity to this is not healthy. It's healthy to write a letter, email the letter, have your friends doing it as well, and have a grassroots initiative to show these people that everybody's listening and watching. You know, it's not just the person died and their family. It's like everybody's watching this. So I think we really need to do a little bit more in that end, because they are pulling out all the stops to advertise that Roundup and glyphosate is totally safe. All right. And that is totally not true. So do we let them get away with it? And how do we as individuals do something? Well, it's through our grassroots efforts that helps. And think about all the people in the hospital who are given food that's not organic. What's that doing to them while they're in the hospital? When you go to the hospital, it's called health care. Health care, not anti-health care, right? So they should be feeding people things that promote health. That would be the most important thing. Unfortunately, registered dietitians go to school to learn hospital food. Did you know that?
I've never been overnight in the hospital nor eaten the hospital food, but I've visited people where I've seen the stuff that they're being fed, and it's pretty nasty.
Yeah, green Jello.
Yeah. That's the good part.
That's the good part.
The stuff with the gravy is the bad part.
The gravy and all of the Crisco or whatever they use, the lard, all this kind of stuff. Good. You know, I know that emergency rooms are awesome. I mean, if you ever get in trouble with anything, don't go to a naturopath. Go to the emergency room. If you get in a car accident, you want to definitely go into the emergency room. We were talking about candida. Glyphosates in food can also have an effect on the good bacteria in your body. And if you don't have enough good bacteria, then the glyphosates can definitely affect intestinal permeability. When you have a child with autism, the glyphosate can go and migrate to the brain, just like heavy metals can and other things and vaccines can. So you have to know when you're detoxifying that you want to detoxify the brain as well as the body. Okay, so how do you do that? Most people don't even think about detoxifying their brain. You know, most people don't even connect that the brain is creating all of their good creativity and all things like that. And when when it's slowing down the creativity, it's because you have to detoxify your brain. And that is easily done, my friends. That is done with the hepatic glutathione pathway formula and the slow cleanse or the whole body deep cleanse. And that HGP, hepatic glutathione pathway formula, HGP, helps methylation. It's your body's detoxification process. It helps methylation. It also opens up the liver-mediated pathway to the brain. The hepatic glutathione pathway is a liver-mediated pathway. So the liver and the brain in this pathway work together. So this tells you if your liver's toxic, where do you think some of that's going? The answer is possibly your brain. So anything that's there, like if you have vaccines and you're having neurological issues, autism, whatever the neurological issue is, you need to do a brain detoxification because you have your hypothalamus, your pituitary, and your pineal in your brain. They help with the feedback loop in the rest of your body to produce and regulate hormones. Okay, they help. The hypothalamus is like the seat of your emotions. It's like your emotions actually are affected by the health of your hypothalamus gland. So we need to keep that really healthy. Brain detoxification is a must. So that is the hepatic glutathione pathway formula and the slow cleanse or the whole body deep cleanse. Now, if you have mercury, if you know you have mercury or heavy metals in your brain, if a kid's been or someone's been diagnosed with autism, the chances like 99% you have heavy metals in your brain. And so that is taken out at the same time you take this homeopathic spray. It's called Mercury Plus Detox. And that will, when you just spray it in your mouth, and you do it along with the protocol I just gave you, then it will just gently, without side effects, feeling better every day, it will just neutralize it and detoxify it. That's what you want to do. Because, I mean, you know, you have to consider the brain serves you for many, many years, and it's the one thing, the one thing about us that we have, well, there's many things about us that don't age, but the brain doesn't have to age. The rest of your body doesn't have to age much either. It depends on whether you believe in wrinkles or not. Do you believe in wrinkles? Do you believe in, like everybody, you're going to get older and things are going to break down? And or if you're getting negative about that, you can create it. But you can keep your brain as sharp as it was as in your 20s or 30s. And that is through detoxification. The rest of your body, you can keep very young. You can keep it looking very young because it's going to be healthy if you eat the right things. So aging, to some degree, there's a lot of myths around aging. There's a lot of myths around hormones and that we need to look at. And a lot of people think about hormones when they think about aging. So when you age, you think, okay, my hormones are off. People, that's the first thing women think, right? Oh, it must be my hormones. Okay, maybe it's not your hormones. Maybe it's the stress in your job that's affecting your hormones. What is doing what? That is important. So as far as hormones, I would say that it is very easy to keep them balanced through homeopathic hormone rejuvenation. And that is through our EndoPure hormone rejuvenation products that are homeopathic, or our NuFem homeopathic hormone rejuvenation. Both are trademarked, and I'm the only one who makes them. I invented it. Just saying that I intimately know how these things work, and we've tested over 20,000 people in before and after tests, saliva tests, to see that when the people follow the program, the after test, it's 95% always. And we do that. How do we do that? We do that with EndoPure or NuFem hormone rejuvenation. We do that with food, organic food, diet. We do it with detoxification, the slow cleanse or the whole body deep cleanse. We do that with minerals, ionic minerals. We do that with clean vitamins that are non-GMO, gluten-free, and veggie caps. We do that with certain nutraceuticals that are helpful. In other words, a woman might say, oh my God, I'm aging, and now I have fibroids and cysts and endometriosis. And you hear about this, you know about this, but you see advertisements on TV about drugs to take for it, and you just have to listen to all of the fast talking about all the side effects and the fatality. And this is something I remember when I was 22. I'm going to give you this as a little example. I was diagnosed with a uterine tumor. The doctor, because it was palpable, you could feel it. The doctor took an x-ray and said, oh, look, it's big, blah, blah, blah. We're going to do surgery. I said, no way, we're not doing surgery. I was 22, but not stupid. Okay. 22, I was raised by a mom who was always sick and had 8 to 9 surgeries. One was maybe a little hemorrhoid, but the other ones were big surgeries that she had, and she was always sick. So I knew that just watching all of that, okay, we're going to get smarter from this, right? So I knew that a tumor could be fixed using natural things, because it was the only place I could do, the only thing I could do. So I went to a health food store. Make a long story short, I picked up a book by Pavo Arola called How to Get Well. I did the diet for tumors and stopped smoking cigarettes, stopped doing all kinds of things. And lo and behold, in 6 months, I went back to the doctor, and he says, oh, I thought I'd never see you again. I said, I just want you to take an x-ray. So we took an x-ray. He said, I have to take another one. So he took another one and he said, I don't think there's something wrong with my machine. It doesn't show that there's anything there. I says, you think there's something wrong with your machine? He said, not really. He said, what have you been doing? So he said, just keep on doing it, right? And the point is healing your body is really up to you. It's because you can do it easier than anybody else can do it. You know yourself better. So start on a detoxification program, and there's certain nutrients that we have that are used for tumors, fibroids, and cysts. Now they're used, I'm not saying it cures it because legally I can't say that, but the ingredients in them are used, and you can find them in Medscape. They're used to dissolve fibroids, tumors, and cysts. Now, I'm not saying that this will cure you because that's illegal. I can't do that. I'm saying that the ingredients in the products that I'm going to mention have been used for dissolving and breaking down fibroids and cysts and helping with endometriosis. So one of those ingredients is enzymes. Strongest enzyme you can get is serrapeptidase. There are many other types of enzymes that are very strong, like nattokinase. And these enzymes, when put together with other enzymes, make formulas that will dissolve inflammation, dissolve any like cysts and fibroids and those kind of things. That's what it's used for. And you'll see that. Go to Medscape. Look up in a medical dictionary or in Medscape research articles they have on using serrapeptidase and nattokinase for fibroid cysts and tumors. And then you'll see, hey, Dr. Dale is got it going on here because this is what's used for. So you can check our website out for biofilm and raw nattokinase. And of course, we have the cleanses there as well. But I wanted to share with you that I use the word a lot that things are curable. Everything is curable. I believe that with all my heart, that the only thing that's not curable is a negative attitude until you cure that. So if you have a negative attitude and always looking at the glass as being half full and that you can't do it because so-and-so said you can't do it, and you know, when you listen to other people who say that you can't do something, that is a sure sign that you can do it. Because there's no such thing that you can't do anything. I mean, you can choose to make changes naturally with just about anything that's happening with your body. If you're in a car accident, completely different thing. You need the meds. You need the ones that are so great at emergency medicine. I just think they're wonderful, and that's what you need to put you back together again, right? But after that, okay, then the healing can really start by all the wonderful things that you can choose to do for yourself. We know that we got into today talking about Candida. We talked about a few different things today. But where we are now is talking about you're curing yourself through detoxification and through learning and educating yourself about whatever the diagnosis is. Sometimes Candida is not diagnosed, okay? Sometimes it is. But you will know if you have it because you can see the symptoms on my website, or you can Google the symptoms if you'd like to do that. Either way, we have 10 minutes left. We want to take this opportunity to tell you that we have events coming up. You can need to check our events at wellnesscenter.net/events. You also want to check out our free teleseminars that we have from time to time and get on our list so that you get our free newsletter, and then you'll find out about all of the events that we have. One of the most important things that we discussed today was about glandular products, and that's how I opened the show, talking about glandular products from animals. And for those of you who missed that, go back, listen to it, and help other people with that information. One of the most important things is to understand that you can learn a lot through webinars. We have webinars. You can learn a lot through our teleseminars and through our membership. So I was thinking about, when I had my website, what can I do to help you heal yourself, because it's all from education. Educate yourself so that you can actually heal your own body. What do I need to do? And that's where I decided, and the idea of membership came up, that I need to have a membership that's very inexpensive for you, just to cover my internet costs of maintaining it, right? But that where you can become educated in whatever you want to become educated related to healthcare and healing, and that you can also get a discount on products, and where we can also email one another and you can make an appointment. All of that can be done as a member, and it's only $20 a month. And so and you can email me as much as you want. If you email me once a day, I'm happy. It's okay. I'll get back with you. And this is how I talk with all of you, is through that membership. I also like to know how you feel about the show. I'd like to know what you want to learn on the show, what kind of things are important, and then we can bring those topics to light. Now, we need to know that, one of the most other important, very important issues is we have a lot of people, a lot of health providers who are wanting our protocols for Lyme disease. A lot of people have tested Lyme. They have it. Sometimes the tests are not conclusive. They can have it and the test shows negative. But oftentimes that when they have Lyme, and it does show on a test, it's hard to get rid of it unless you follow the protocol that I've created. I have a protocol for it. It involves action steps that you need to do in order to heal Lyme. Plus, it includes your becoming a member and having access to our homeopathic products that are normally only for health providers. So you definitely want to check out that membership. And we have about 6 minutes left. So I would love to know if you have any questions. You can email me right now on Facebook, and then I can see if I can answer that question right now. If not, I will get your question and answer it on next week's show. Next week, we're having a guest. We're having Lydia Iwanoska next week, and we will be talking about all health, all good things, like how we heal certain health issues, and you bring your paper and make some notes on that. So what I was saying about Lyme disease is there are protocols in the members area for you. We have many protocols for learning about your hormones, and learning about teeth and your dental situation, learning about how to lose weight and keep it off, and how to slow down the aging process. So very important. because the aging process can be very upsetting to people. And because they're not feeling as well as they used to. But this has to do only with the buildup of toxicity in your body, Daryl. It only has to do with that. So as the toxicity builds up more and more, your liver gets unhappy, your kidneys get unhappy, your brain is not happy.
Oh, hey, we've only got one brain and one liver, so
Right.
kidney you can afford maybe one to go every once in a while, but
Well, you only have two. So that
the liver goes, you're in trouble.
You're in big
And we
trouble.
talked so much these days about liver damage because of alcohol, liver damage because of you've got a lot of bad things that can happen.
all the meds that can do that, statin
People
drugs.
talk about hepatitis more these days than ever before.
Right. The hepatitis issue is something that is depends a lot on your lifestyle, but it could also be that you just ate out somewhere and someone touched the food that had it. I mean, so you're best to eat out if you're going to eat out, try. And I know this isn't always the answer, but I try to get organic food, even go out to a restaurant. Do you have organic vegetables? What do you have as far as organics? And you can find it.
Well, especially when you're eating meat, because they say, oh yeah, organic meat, but what did the cow eat?
Right.
Where did the feed come from? And
right. You're right. And
beginning to end, cradle to grave, you have no idea sometimes. And neither does the people serving it.
Right. And if I'm going to eat chicken out, it's going to be 100% organic. And luckily where I live, I've got a health food store with a deli and hot food, and they make organic. Everything that they serve in their deli is organic. Everything, even the herbs and spices, everything. So that's the only places I really enjoy eating out, and because I always feel good. It's when you're eating a meal, it can be really delicious, but later, how does that feel?
Yeah, with all like the lettuce health scares that we've had recently.
I know,
in
amazing. That
California.
was with iceberg lettuce
and romaine.
romaine.
And who's to say you may have an organic farm, but who's to say the person next door is,
next to your farm, right? You can have a farm next to yours that is they're growing GMO. They're using Roundup. So we have to look very carefully at cleaning our vegetables. And I want to tell you one quick thing before we go. We've got less than 2 minutes. When I buy vegetables, even though they're organic, I rinse them in a solution of food-grade hydrogen peroxide, 30% strong hydrogen peroxide. And you can't touch it with your fingers because it'll burn. Okay, you put rubber gloves on and you wash your vegetables in a sink full of water with a half a teaspoon of food-grade hydrogen peroxide. And you just soak it there for 15 minutes. And then you rinse it off with clean water. And then you pat it dry with paper towel. And then you've got your food to eat you've got all your veggies done for a week that you're going to need veggies. And I do that with every vegetable or fruit I eat, everything. So people want to know, why am I so healthy? That's probably why. And I really love my job, and I really love being here with you today. It's really fun. So I hope you enjoy it too. And we're going to see you next week. And I have a guest on that I can interview, and that'll be fun. So I look forward to having you come back next week. And please feel free to email me. Go on Facebook. You can leave me a message there. You can also go to my website and click on Contact Us and send me an email that way. And then I'll get it. Okay, and you can write down whatever you want. But I would suggest, number one, becoming a member. That's going to serve you and your family and your health for many years to come. I wish you many blessings. Have a terrific week. Happy New Year again. And we'll see you next week with Lydia Iwanoska. Thank you.